The courtroom in Washington, D.C., buzzed with tension as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez faced criminal charges. Protesters outside were divided, some supporting her, others demanding her imprisonment. Inside, journalists filled the seats, capturing every moment. This was more than just a trial, it was political theater at its highest level. AOC stepped out of a black SUV, her expression unreadable, dressed in a sleek navy blazer. She was used to fighting political battles, but this one was different. It was in a court of law. Pam Bondi, the relentless former attorney general turned federal prosecutor, sat at the prosecution's table, determined to win. Beside her was Caroline Leavitt, a rising conservative media star, working to tilt public opinion against AOC. As the judge, known for his impartiality, called the court to order, Bondi stood first. She accused AOC of obstruction of justice and conspiracy, arguing that she had actively encouraged illegal immigrants to evade law enforcement, not just advocate for reform. The courtroom murmured at the allegations, but AOC remained composed. Her attorney, James Calloway, countered that she had merely educated individuals about their constitutional rights. He reminded the jury that criminalizing this act would threaten free speech itself. The first witness, Special Agent Daniel Briggs, testified that an ICE raid had failed because the target had used a Know Your Rights pamphlet distributed by AOC's office. Bondi pushed the idea that AOC's materials directly led to fugitives escaping. But Calloway pointed out that without a judicial warrant, law enforcement had no legal right to enter the residence. He emphasized that AOC had never instructed anyone to resist arrest. Briggs admitted she had not. Next, Officer Michael Reynolds described how people blocked ICE agents from detaining undocumented individuals, citing statements from AOC's webinar. Again, Calloway challenged him, noting that exercising constitutional rights wasn't obstruction. Caroline Leavitt then took the stand, arguing that AOC's influence led to chaos and resistance. Calloway, however, revealed that Leavitt profited from spreading anti-AOC narratives, casting doubt on her objectivity. Bondi's case took a hit when former AOC staffer Mark Harris testified. He claimed the office had strategized ways to prevent ICE detentions, which Bondi presented as evidence of obstruction. However, Calloway revealed that Harris had later accepted a job with a conservative think tank, suggesting political motivations for his testimony. Another key witness, Officer Luis Mendoza, detailed an incident where a fugitive escaped because community members, armed with AOC's pamphlets, blocked ICE officers. Calloway again highlighted that AOC never directly instructed anyone to obstruct law enforcement. When former ICE agent Frank Williams testified that AOC's influence led to increased resistance, Calloway reminded the jury that knowing and asserting legal rights wasn't a crime. Dr. Richard Fox, an expert in law enforcement policy, argued that AOC's materials encouraged obstruction. Calloway countered that they provided legal education, not incitement. He warned that criminalizing such education threatened constitutional freedoms. On the final day, the prosecution called Tom Homan, former acting director of ICE, who declared that AOC's actions actively undermined law enforcement and violated federal law. The jury deliberated, and in the end, the judge ruled guilty of obstruction of justice. AOC's face went pale as the verdict was announced. Bondi had won, but the battle over public opinion had only just begun.